Okay, this is the 9-1 notes, and really we're just going over some terms and vocabulary that we are going to need for the rest of the chapter. So a circle is a set of points in a plane at a given distance from a given point in that plane. So basically what that means, and you've kind of done this idea before, is if I make a point and I then find in only the plane every point that is, I don't know, 5 centimeters from it, that it would make a circle. And a circle, not that mess. So our first word is a chord. A chord is a segment. Notice I underline that, whose endpoints lie on the circle. So the two endpoints of the segment need to be on the circle for it to be a chord. A secant is a line that contains a chord. So notice that it looks very similar. A secant passes through the circle at two separate points. A radius, you know what this one is. It's a segment with one endpoint at the center, which would be here, and one endpoint at the endpoint of the circle, which would be here. A diameter is a type of chord. So yes, this is still a chord. It has endpoints on the circle, but it also goes through the center. So that's what makes the diameter a special chord. Circles are named by their center point. You may see in the book, it's hard for me to do down here, they'll name it like circle, they'll write that symbol, and then they'll write O, or circle A. But when they're telling you that, they're telling you where the center is. So there is some important information being given when they tell you the name of the circle. A tangent is a line. Again, notice that I've underlined some words. In the plane of a circle that intersects the circle in exactly one point. So it's not the tangent ratio we did before, it's a tangent line. The point of tangency is where that tangent hits the circle. So that would be over here. A sphere is a set of all the points in space. So just three-dimensionally, again, if you take a point and then find all of them, as an example, 5 centimeters away, but think three-dimensionally, now you're getting a sphere. Congruent circles are circles with congruent radii. So that's the definition of a congruent circle. They would be equal if they have congruent radii. Concentric circles, circles that lie in the same plane and have the same center. For this, you can think of a bullseye, where I have a circle and another circle. They're in the same plane and they both have the same center. So if you think of a bullseye, that's concentric circles. For this picture, I've used the picture to help use the vocabulary. The triangle is said to be inscribed in the circle. Inscribed means that each vertex lies on the circle. So it's not just that it's inside, it's each vertice is on the circle. The circle is circumscribed about the triangle, and circumscribed being that it hits every vertex. So again, the underlined words here are the new vocabulary. So in this part, I have a figure here, and I want you to name what each of these are. Okay. So you can push pause and do that, and then come back and get the answers. Okay, for segment OM, that is from a center to the edge of a circle, so that will be a radius. Segment MN, endpoints on the circle, so this is a chord. Line MN is a secant. It is a line that contains a chord. Segment MQ is a diameter. Segment ML, if you look at segment ML, it intersects the circle in exactly one point. But the definition of a tangent is it is a line. So for segment ML, we are going to say it is a tangent segment, whilst line ML is a tangent. So there's a little bit of a difference there. Note the notation. Point M is an example of a point of tangency. That is where the circle and the tangent meet at point M. And then for homework, your page 330 classroom exercises. And that is concluding 9-1.